Previously on Something Who. Welcome everyone to the podcast where normally we take something old, compare it with something new and add something borrowed to make Something Who, but tonight we're doing something a bit different. So I'm Richard and welcome to Something Who podcast. And after last week's discussion about the returned Daleks Master Plan episodes 1 and 3, we're back with another missing episodes related chat. We were lined up to do more last week, and last week was St. Patrick's Day. So we picked two missing Patrick Troughton episodes that aired nearest to March 17th. I mean, it's super tenuous, but there we go. Macra Terror 2 and Fury from the Deep 1. Given that we've done the research, and given that, you know, as you all know, watching Doctor Who is pretty much of a luxury item for me, it would have been a shame to have wasted it. So Tonight we're going to talk about these episodes, and what we know from the material that survived and what we're missing by not being able to see them properly. So first up, it is noted science and astronomy author, Minmi from Gallifrey Base's Missing Episodes thread, Giles.
Hello.
Next up, we've got Omni Rumour cataloguer and beloved Big Finish writer, it's Paul. And finally, it's the man who knows more about Daleks than anyone else, multi-talented 3D artist, writer, researcher, podcaster, co-creator of Dalek 6388. It's Gav.
Hello.
Fury from the Deep, Part 1, written by Victor Pemberton, directed by Hugh David. I do like the modern reconstructions. Yeah, I got a lot from watching this one. Again, that kind of sense of building menace. And it does feel like a good Part 1 that sort of gets you right into the mystery of the story. And also,
I'd go further than that. I'd say it's one of the best Part 1s ever.
And also, it's got lots of interesting visual mysteries in it as well.
Yeah, I have to say, Fury's always left me a bit cold before. Never quite.
That's the North Sea for you.
Yeah, frankly, yeah. I never quite got what people see in it, but watching it this time and watching the recon, yeah, it really, and maybe just taking this one episode and.
I've been through phases with Fury. I think when I first got access to I think they were the joint venture recons on VHS, I loved it and I watched it a lot, and then I kind of calmed down on it. But sort of experiencing this first episode with the concept that we were potentially going to be able to see it in our little conceit, it was so exciting. And I really fell in love with this, as I did with Macra too.
Goodness.
Growing up in the 80s, I mean, the main thing as a fan that you're aware of was a succession of rendering of anecdotes of mucking about on beaches with foam. And so actually I hadn't appreciated until much later on that, in fact, that is... not all of it, but a chunk of it is actually written in the script. It wasn't just them mucking about on the day. It is actually scripted.
And, I mean, we were talking about overlap of other episodes with Macra and Fury and Underwater Menace. There's a lot of overlap here with Enemy of the World. Yeah. Mucking about on the beach, the larks, the guns. Again, seems like the kind of thing that you know, if you had a bird's eye view of your era, you would say, "Oh no, wait, we've done all of that before."
But that was 12 weeks ago.
Yeah. And this is season 5, where famously it's the exact same thing 6 times in a row, except Enemy of the World, which is obviously the odd one out. That's what everyone has always thought. So yeah. Do we know why they fell in love with, I'm not going to say Base Under Siege, with this particular format at that point? Did they look at the board and think, no, what should we do this week? We haven't quite perfected the belligerent boss of an isolated, claustrophobic
I mean, it is
a group of scientists who goes slowly mad through paranoia. Let's have another go at it and see if we can really...
I don't think that they've mined the class struggle quite as well in some of the other ones. You've definitely got the kind of working class bloke who's sort of really had to struggle to get to the top, and his second in charge who's breezed in from some university somewhere with his posh accent and his darling wife. You definitely get that kind of fun 1960s thing going on there.
I didn't think it was particularly fun, but yes, it's nice.
Well,
it's nice character stuff.
I mean, the fun bit is that that they just feel like Rada central casting somehow. I mean, I think they may have come from the planet Rada, actually.
I need to caveat anything I say with the fact that obviously I would love to see this again, and I'm quite sure that
again.
Said too much, Paul.
Go on.
It's a turn of phrase. I think.
Yeah.
I would like for the world it to be seen again in the world, and for the world to see it again, and me to be one of the people who sees it when it is seen again. When it's risen from season 5 is not risen from a TV station in Nigeria.
Africa. You just keep digging, Paul.
Also, I saw it at a convention in one of the special rooms, 1986. But
you were also in Wigan 6 months ago.
I think for me, it's the archetypal story that I don't find very interesting on audio, despite the fact it's lovely enough atmospheric, and it's there's nothing wrong with it. It's well written. The characterization is very good. Maybe it's the fact that it's so serious. Maybe it's the fact that it's so samey. Maybe it's the fact that... But I know that the spectacle, and I don't mean spectacle as in giant monsters and towering oil rigs. I mean the opposite of spectacle. I mean just being able to see the claustrophobia is more interesting than being able to hear it. So yes, like Giles, I've never been that. The fact that it feels samey when you listen to it in a random order. It feels like all the other, so much like the other stories that season. What I can only imagine what it must have been like to watch them all one after another. I mean, and they're also so long, aren't they? So much time dedicated to middle-aged shouty men going mad. I've got to get past that, I think. And oh God, there's one more, isn't there? We've got a Wheel in Space to come.
Oh, I didn't even have that on my list. I wrote Cutler, Clent, Stahlman. I've forgotten Wheel in Space as well. Stahlman, obviously, after this, so it doesn't really count. Wheel in Space is after this, so it doesn't really count. In terms of retreading old ground, though, very familiar stuff.
And I guess...
Luckily, the two Yeti stories both dodge it, don't they?
The Macra Terror is a bit more eccentric, which appeals to me more than a straight down the line meat and potatoes, a scary, good gothic horror Doctor Who. But I say that with a straight face, and I'm talking about a story with living seaweed, which lives in a giant bubble bath, So it's all relative, isn't it? Any Doctor Who is madder than anything else. This is madder than whatever it was whatever play it was Victor Pemberton had written for Radio 4, which he repurposed for it. So yes, I will just hang on to
fractionally less mad than the Pescatons, which is exactly the same but weirder.
And yes, you're right. The mystery is nice, and and also it made my wife perk up and say, "Oh, is that the first time we see the sonic screwdriver?" And I said, "You're not supposed to know that. What have I done?"
Okay, right.
How do you know?
But also, you've opened a can of worms as to the sonic screwdriver prop. That's on my list of things that we need to see.
Yes.
Well, I'll shut up and let you...
But we're never going to see it.
Isn't it just like a Stanley screwdriver?
There is a screwdriver.
Much like...
There's a tiny little screwdriver in one of the photos, for sure.
So he uses a toggle from his duffel coat because they didn't have the sonic screwdriver prop on location. That is the story.
Oh, I thought he dropped it into the... I thought they dropped it into the box thing that they stuck on top of the pipe.
Yes, you're right. I think that, yes.
They dropped the prop in there and then couldn't get it out, I believe.
Yeah, and they couldn't get it out.
So that is the story, but there definitely is a photograph showing him with a tiny little screwdriver, sort of like this. In you won't be able to see it because I've got there on, but in his hand as well. Yeah,
and it's also an audio podcast.
Well, yeah. So, listener, I'm holding a screwdriver in my hand. So, yeah, who knows? Who knows what it was?
Well, this is why we need it back.
Little screwdrivers.
What are you eating, Paul? Turkish delight.
You're calling me Edmund. It's a Cadbury brunch bar.
Oh, sounds
packaged.
awful.
Don't know why.
Oh, I had something amazing to say before while you were talking. Then. No, it's gone. It's completely gone. I need Paul to repeat everything he said 10 minutes ago, and it might jog my memory.
10 minutes ago? Blimey. I didn't say anything interesting there. Was that...
it's not relevant. It doesn't matter if it's interesting.
Okay.
I just need to hear it all again, and then I will think, I've got something better to say.
I mean, talking
what
of
you
people
just said.
Making life difficult for themselves, Victor Pemberton writes the TARDIS descending like a rocket. If rockets descended, which they didn't back then, but they do now. So he foresaw Elon Musk's whatever sculpt.
To be fair.
Yeah, so he writes that in the script because he doesn't know. He's never seen it. So he doesn't know how it actually moves. And then rather than just the script editor correcting it, they decided to film it. So they have to bring in. Well, they've got the helicopter, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, it is a weird period of the TARDIS being weird constantly. Like sometimes it lands and it's invisible, sometimes it rockets down from the air, sometimes its insides don't work and it's tiny. This era was very much an era of the TARDIS behaving in atypical ways rather than just materializing and starting the adventure normally.
This is odd. This thing with the helicopter. So hang on. When you say well they had the helicopter anyway. So this is the thing that watching the animation with the info text on. I think they mentioned in there that there's a couple of points where they say, well, this isn't actually what you'd have seen in the real thing, because that implies that they had a helicopter shot of the Dr. Jamie and Victoria rowing to shore, and yet the telesnaps seem to suggest that the shot is pretty much like at sea level, as it were. And so, are there? I don't know. The game is that we're not acknowledging the other episodes, but are there other helicopter shots? Or
well, there's the helicopter doing all these crazy stunts, flying in and around the oil rigs.
Oh, right. Yes, of course. Okay. Yeah. Right.
So I presume it was all the same shoot.
Fair enough. Okay.
And they used the same
they can just dangle
lunatic
the
pilot.
Yes. Well, have you, Giles? Surely you've watched the documentary that came with the animation. About Mad, whatever his name is.
Okay.
Mike McAdam. Yeah, I mean they big him up. Everyone's selling anecdotes about what a lunatic he was.
Right.
And then when you meet him, it's somehow even more extraordinary. Apart from there's something about, he swings on a chandelier at the rap party, just because he's shown them all the dangerous helicopter tricks he can. So he's sort of branches out into.
Okay.
And what's more irresponsible that I can do in a smaller environment?
Kent, the beach scenes were filmed at Pegwell Bay, which is just south of Ramsgate in Kent.
One of the
Isle of Thanet.
Very trivial questions that I had on the beach was the doctor says they know they're in England because of the White Cliffs. And I wondered whether that was a good old point off camera or whether there was a little photo caption insert or whether there was a tall enough bit of vaguely chalky cliff that they could cut to on that location.
I don't have any telesnaps in front of me. What do the cliffs or whatever it is behind?
You don't. I don't think you see much of anything.
It's not very cliffy around there, is it?
No.
Geologically speaking, the chalk comes from the North and South Downs, which is why it's a ridge running laterally across the country, which then, when it comes to the sea, is exposed, creating a towering edifice of chalk, which is otherwise buried. The North Downs is better than South Downs. It doesn't get as much publicity, but it is superior. And there's a green sand ridge running, on average, about 5 miles south of the North Downs.
Is this just off the top of your head?
Similar lateral. Yeah, well, and they can be walked. They can be walked the North Downs Way and the Green Sand Way, both signposted fully with way markers. I can recommend them.
Slightly confusingly, I'm not sure that the North Downs are much further north than the South Downs.
No, but they're both in the south.
Yeah.
You see, and we in the south are so pleased with ourselves.
Got the North Downs.
We're not even dismissing North. We just forget it exists. Yeah. There are two downs, North and.
Do you live in the South Down? Where do you live, Paul? If you don't mind me exposing this information.
Mid Kent.
Kent.
I call it East Kent, but we've just been asked. Yeah, we've just been asked to fill in a survey.
What are the first 3 letters of your postcode?
There's a new TN25, but that's the post office being weird because I'm nowhere near Tunbridge.
Oh,
it's between Canterbury and Ashford.
Tom Spilsbury's in Tunbridge Wells.
Is he?
TN25.
Used to work there. And the Pantiles. The North Downs Way actually runs past my house. I often am in the garden and there's walkers walking past. And I said, do you need any help? And they say, of course I don't. I've got a map.
Why, Charlotte? Are you near Stowling?
Stouting.
Stowling. Stouting. Sorry, there is a T in it.
Yeah, I used to have a gardening customer there.
Do you? Oh, yeah. You never talk about your gardening work on this podcast.
Well, I don't do it anymore.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, I gave it up so I could concentrate on the writing.
And the podcasting.
Yeah. and not making money. I was making far too much money from it, and I felt very, very capitalist. It was encouraging bad habits in me, buying things, So, knock that on the head.
Yeah, I mean, not 3 miles from this house where I am is the vastly inferior South Downs.
Oh, of course, yeah. They're too big and open. I prefer a bit of rolling, undulating countryside. It's like being in The Hobbit or something. You're never quite sure what's around the next corner. But the South Downs, you're just showing off. It's something you might find in America.
Stouting, Rhodes, Minnis, Bradbourne.
Yeah, and Stirling Minnis, of course. Stirling Minnis. You've got Minnis. Minnis is an old Kentish word for. Why? I live in W-Y-E.
Oh.
Do you know the Five Bells Inn?
West Surrey, Minster, and Ramsgate.
You live in Wye?
Yeah. Where's the Five Bells? Is it in Brabourne Lees? No, I don't really know. No. This is fascinating stuff. While Gav is
doxing you,
Google Maps stalking me, the excellent anecdote about Pegwell Bay is that it has 2 Doctor Who connections, one direct and one tangential.
Oh.
And the indirect link is that it is now the permanent home of the Norse Viking ship that we see in the Time Meddler.
Good Lord.
Which was being rowed across from Norway in for some strange reason, and it's news footage of that event, which was used.
It was the 60s.
Time Meddler, and then they just stuck it in a park next to the cliff. So there you go.
You're going to say that was the permanent home of the Macra Terror.
Oh, if only.
Yeah, I was just reading actually a book about the North Sea. Pegwell Bay is pretty central to it. The Romans were in that kind of neck of the woods as well, and the Saxons for that matter.
Yeah, well, yeah, you say that. I mean, famously, East Kent was mostly settled by the Jutes. rather than the Saxons, which is why we are. I mean, us people of Kent.
I'm glad you made that important distinction.
Yes, we're very proud in Kent of being the oldest and biggest and best county. I don't know if any of those things are true, but East Kent in particular, where I'm from, we descend from the Jutes rather than Saxons. So we are.
Oh, is this why there's a Kentish men of Kent kind of division or something?
That's
of Medway, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know if that literally is what stopped the Jutes going any further west. Perhaps they didn't like getting their feet wet. But despite having come from Jutland, of Battle of fame.
Yes. Yeah.
Anything else you want to know about Kent?
So they shoot the Doctor with guns and everything.
Yes. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how that bit was all executed, because presumably it was quite a complicated setup, given that you had like the in-studio manipulation of the targeting device, I believe, or somehow because there were crosshairs or something else.
Yes, yeah, there are,
and they're monitoring it on a screen, and at the same time, then you've got mixed in the film pre-film stuff. Be interested to see how well it came off.
Yeah, I had to look at the timestamp. It was all of that stuff on the beach is done in about 5 minutes, so it's similar kind of length to some of the new series Cold Open sequences.
The regulars, they punched up the regulars having fun. I mean, I know that trio are generally very good humoured, but it feels like they've been given a lot more latitude to have frolics, all scripted. But not just the stuff on the beach. Yeah, hijinks and
escaping from the cell as well.
Yeah, escaping from the cell, and there's a telesnap where the the Doctor's looking up Jamie's kilt. Yeah, it just feels very warm, and that it's managed very nicely and deliberately, considering the departure that is coming to throw forward. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure I ever understood where this was set, building architecturally. I don't think until today I'd ever really given it a great deal of thought, but I think in the past, I think I'd always thought it was under the water. And I guess it isn't. It's some kind of coastal base.
Yeah.
But then all of the other interactions are with rigs out at sea.
Yes, that is confusing, isn't it?
But I don't.
It's sort of a refinery, isn't it? It's not exactly.
I don't know. Will there ever be an establishing shot that we're not privy to? Are we just sort of floundering, trying to? Because you got all of the domestic stuff, which is really nice. I really like all of that, the wifey thing,
wacky wallpaper,
for want of a better.
I'm quite intrigued by all of that.
I think the domestic stuff adds a really nice layer to it. But it doesn't help me understand the structure of the organisation in terms of where it is, whether it's a base. It sort of feels like a military base.
I believe the Harris's front door is literally represented by one scenery flat that they shot from the outside. They just shot from the outside of her coming in the door.
Yeah. I don't really think it is underwater, but I didn't. I don't think I'd really thought it through before.
To understand the whole world of North Sea oil riggage, you should read the 8th Inspector Rebus novel by Ian Rankin, Black and Blue. Obviously, I remember only because I read it last month. It goes in great detail about how many hours it takes to fly out from the refinery to the offshore rig. So it's a good job that they didn't adhere to that reality, because it would have been a very boring story.
Yeah.
Might explain why Mad Mike, the helicopter pilot, was such a daredevil. Got to amuse yourself somehow on that 4-hour trip out to.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Was this shot at the rig stuff at the same location as? No, hang on. Talking about my hat. This is the one that's off the North Kent coast, right? The 6 rigs there in a little circle where they were doing pirate radio at the time. Is it not?
I think that's it.
Yes. It's not that far from Pegwell Bay.
And Chris Chapman went back to film the documentary.
He did? Another nice documentary. Who is it who can't be bothered to get out of the boat? They take them all the way there, but one of them hasn't got his sea legs.
So we've got John Abineri in this. It's an extraordinary accent he produces. Well, is it maybe it's not extraordinary enough. It certainly doesn't seem very Dutch.
50 guilders.
But he's good value as ever.
Mm.
I forgot to mention in the Macra Terror, there's the guy on the radio that completely loses his American accent, and he gets really confused about Oler and the guards.
Mm.
But the controller, the operator, the radio guy in this, Price, is the controller from the Macra Terror.
Yes, good point.
Ah.
But he's also basically fulfilling the same role in The Three Doctors. He's the Time Lord at the control desk. And he's also the Grand Marshal in Seeds of Death.
Wow.
Oh.
The big boss, Ice Warrior.
The big boss who ends up in the sun.
But he's got a very distinctive voice, and he just seems to be relegated to distinctive voices on radio operations. Because he has exactly the same role in The Three Doctors, just sitting at a desk, tuning the radio in. Good point.
I was good. Sorry, I was disappearing down a rabbit hole, trying to work out whether the voice of the propaganda voice in the Macra Terror is on, whether it is in the credits, and it is in fact, control voice Dennis Goacher apparently.
So there's a bit of business towards the end of this episode where Victoria is sent packing. Usual sexist nonsense. Can't possibly come with us. It could be dangerous, whatever. But then Jamie says, "Oh, and Victoria," but it's kind of hard to know what was supposed to be happening there. Yeah,
I think. Well, my inference is that he makes her think he's got something to say. He says, "Oh, and Victoria," and she turns or whatever, and then he just sort of points and laughs at her for being left behind.
All right,
but definitely that's one of those little nuanced moments that you can't quite get the sense of until we see it. Also,
what's happening with Harris and the file and Maggie and getting stung by the seaweed? So this is Oak and Quill, is it, who are doing all of this, nicking this stuff?
Well, it's not a criticism I have, but it's not clear. I mean, we can't see. So there's the script says a white gloved hand is stealing the papers, so that there's this unclear threat, and I really like that. Like I was saying in the Macra Terror, you've got the dual threat of the interpersonal mysteries of the humans, and also the monster threat concurrent. And I love that in Fury that we've got this spooky monster build-up of the threat in the pipe and the suggestion that there's the weird seaweed stuff going on, whilst also there seems to be some human shenanigans going on. Not to mention the typical boss of the base going mad. So I guess there's sort of three elements. Yeah. But no, I'm not 100% clear on what the seaweed espionage stuff is.
So we've only got Quill in this episode, haven't we?
Right.
No Oak, I think.
Yeah. Does Maggie end up going into the sea? I mean, I know that's in an episode we can't talk about, but is that the culmination of having been bitten by the seaweed, or is that more to do with the noxious gas in the following episode?
Well, that's a good point, isn't it? Because she's already been done by the seaweed sting. So why did they come and gas her as well?
Belt and braces.
Yeah.
Oak and Quill were very thorough in their former lives as handymen. As you'd have to be if there were only two of you to service an entire oil rig.
Yeah.
Intriguingly, one page in the camera script does a little bit of archaeology that's instead of Mr. Quill, it's Mr. Swan.
Ah.
Jeremy
Swan.
One line that's not been changed. The figure opening the gas canisters.
They remembered they had a swan
we
about
pan up
7
to see
weeks
the
ago.
face of Mr. Swan. Oh yes,
Still
they did,
bird related.
Yeah. Well, that's nice bit of trivia there, Giles.
And obviously, I would like to see how they did that cliffhanger, because they seem to have done it with Victoria's screams echoing around the base and lots and lots of intercutting and so on. Can't say I've ever seen anything that Hugh David directed, unfortunately.
You haven't seen the Highlanders in one of those secret rooms that Paul was talking about.
No, I did watch Culloden a couple of weeks ago, though. That's extraordinary.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, if people haven't seen it, well worth tracking down.
I think it's on YouTube.
Probably. I had a recording of it because they showed it on BBC Four last year after the chap who made it died, with an accompanying documentary of sort of reunion kind of thing. So it was looking in very, very good nick from that. Obviously, a restored print or whatever, but quite a piece of work.
And that scream you mentioned, Giles, at the end of the episode, I mean, we won't know this just by watching this episode, but it's Chekhov's scream.
It certainly is, yes.
What else we got? Anything?
I mean, I need to correct everything I said earlier. It wasn't Pegwell Bay. I don't imagine anybody would know that was wrong, but I can't let it stand. One of your commentators tonight has committed the most extraordinary solecisms. Normally, I tune into this podcast for factual accuracy. And do not wish to be misinformed. It was not Pegwell Bay, it was Botany Bay. Not that one.
Oh, from Star Trek 2.
To rely, additive.
Up at Broadstairs. And it is a chalk cliff, according to this photograph.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, no, it's a bit hard to judge this one because I guess it's doing episode one's the work of an episode one, and it does it very effectively in terms of drawing you in and setting off a whole load of questions. But it deliberately is obviously holding back answers to things. So it's maybe it leaves us with a bit less to say compared to episodes where you're sort of developing the story further, and like having some reveals of things.
Well, for me, it's big. What?
It's the best episode one ever.
Yeah, it's up there. I'm just so taken with it.
Caves one.
The build up is so spooky, and I love this. The Doctor has this sort of this affected gravitas when he realizes there's something at stake, and he's suddenly he's got a real gravitas to him, and I love the fact that you can't quite get a handle on what's going on because they've identified this thing in the pipe. Maybe there's a heartbeat in the pipe, but also you've got this guy on the monitor screen that seems to have been taken over. Yeah. So are we talking zombies? It has this sort of Quatermass vibe, attention to it all. I think the performances are all great. Just such a phenomenal setup. Wherever this ends up going over the following 5 weeks, and as I said, I've oscillated on my feelings about Fury from the Deep, but this is an episode one. Studying this or fixating on this in isolation had me really captivated. The blend of the interpersonal drama, the albeit cliched base leader going mad, combined with the domestic stuff, gets you invested in these little smaller characters. Is there a monster in the pipe? Are the people taken over? Why are people acting weirdly? It just sets up so many questions. What a setup. I just loved it. Get it back immediately,
I'm sold.
please.
I'm sold. I'll buy that for $1. Well done, Gav. Your passion has won the day yet again. Is it as good as Delta and the Banner in episode one?
So hard to say.
It hasn't got Ken Dodd in it, though, has it?
I do think it's interesting with a lot of these season 5 and Base Under Siege things, and that I wonder the influence of other stuff that was around. Like maybe it's a bit early for some of these boardroom drama type things, but I know R3 was 64, 65, and that was sort of a lab-based drama series, obviously targeted at adults rather than at, it was a sort of pseudo Quatermass kind of. I don't think it went down the sci-fi route, but it was extending, limits of science and technology kind of stuff. And so I think that sort of maybe is where a lot of this stuff in Base Under Siege stories comes from. Like Doctor Who sort of riffing on that and then sticking a foam monster.
Yeah, and we get Megan what's her face later on to amp up the whole boardroom struggles.
Oh yes, yeah.
Side of things. Yeah, there's a touch in Robson of the sort of Captain Rum approach to running a refinery, which is everyone else says what you need to do is to turn the thing off and have a look and see what's in the pipes. But I say you don't.
Opinion is divided on the subject.
Yeah.
He's got some marvellous hair. I'm watching the animation first. I thought, oh, they've really gone to town on giving this guy some wacky hair, and then I watched the recon. I thought, no, it's accurate. Screen accurate.
Is this the only Doctor Who story with "from" in the title, or are there lots of them? I'm prepared to say that it's the one of two that have the word "deep," the "deep" in the title, which is also one of Peter Benchley's less successful Jaws follow-ups.
Warriors of the Deep.
Yes, but not Warriors from the Deep, which it could have been.
Yeah.
Fury of the Deep.
Creature from the Pit.
Warriors from the
Deep. Yes.
There we go. There's the one.
Creature from the
Pit. Everything's connected.
Is that what it's called? The Creature from the Pit? Well, it shouldn't be, should it? It's in the pit, but it's not from there. The creature in the pit from somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But we don't know that.
From Shang 2.
Or we're not going into... No, that doesn't count.
Yeah, I frequently referred... although I've never actually seen it, I've frequently referred to Creature from the Pit as Creature from the Pint, because it does seem to me that it was a drunken idea. Marvellous though it was, Paul.
Yeah. All those stories are marvellous when you're 8. And some of them are still marvellous when you're an adult. So I'm told.
Just deep breath count.
Good Lord. You know what? Richard told me that, in the spirit of everything being connected, Richard mentioned when we were looking at episodes broadcast near St. Patrick's Day that, and there's an episode of Marco Polo, and guess which one it was?
Good heavens.
Missing episodes. Rider from Shank 2, 21st of March.
Cheers. I've got a tiny little bit of warm zero alcohol Guinness left.
Disgusting.
Here's zero alcohol Guinness, Marco Polo.
Breath from the deep.
Mm-hmm.
No, breath off the... No.
No. Well, deep breath. So there you go. 3.
Yeah.
It's all turning into a parlour game now, isn't it? Oh, did you? Oh, bugger. Okay.
3 minutes ago.
Sorry. I missed that. I was too busy checking transmission dates for Rider of Shang 2.
Wow.
Are we done?
No. There's also Deep Roy, who plays... Now we're done.
Very good.
Oh, one final question based on the front page of the camera scripts, and Gav can probably hopefully tell me what exactly is a 12.5 Peter Scott.
Is what?
What exactly is a 12.5 Peter Scott? Technical requirements: MR crane, something I can't read, PED, 2 booms, FRSM, 3 floor monitors, 12.5 Peter Scott.
Wow, I do
8
not
Peter
know.
Scott, and a 23 and a 27 Murphy.
Is that Peter Scott, the son of Rob? Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming it's Peter Scott, the naturalist,
the bird guy.
Yes, yeah, but
son of Captain Scott.
Who knows? We'll leave this as an exercise for the listener. Anyone who wants to tell us what a 12.5 Peter Scott is?
Well, there's a mystery worth solving.
Let me find out, and I will get back to you. Reese will know just off the top of his head.
I was going to say, seriously texting Reese in the background.
If Reese replied within 7 working days, we would know this immediately. Wow. Peter Scott, I don't know. Good question.
Well, I'm going to do the finishing bit now. So thanks for listening to Something Who. If you've enjoyed the episode, please subscribe, rate and review our podcast and let us know what you liked. If you check out our feed, there are lots of others for you to listen to while you're waiting for the next one to land, although actually of late you haven't had to wait that long. If you like Something Who, please tell your friends, your family, your colleagues, your neighbours, and that bloke who stores film cans in his shed. And if you hate us, please don't tell a soul. So we're aiming to make new Something Who about once a month, although it's more like once a week at the moment. It's a fun thing we do in our spare time, so be patient with us during those longer stretches when nothing seems to happen. But we hope to be back soon with more thoughts on Doctor Who, and it'll be both old and new because we're looking forward to these 2 new episodes of Dalek Master Plan. Thanks for your company, Giles, Paul and Gav.
You're welcome.
Particularly since it was a remount.
Yeah, great today.
A remount?
Remount.
I mean, thought for a second we'd recorded the entire thing before and had to redo it because of a technical hitch, which gave me a shiver down my spine. Just as a thought.
Isn't it a shame that of those various other cutting copies of existing episodes that turn up, we've got episode 2 of the Daleks and not episode 1, because that would have held out intriguing possibilities.
It suddenly seems no longer impossible that the first take exists. I remounted your mum as well, just to say that.
Very good. Thanks again. Let's meet again soon.
Oh.
But goodbye for now.
Yes, indeed. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye, listener.
Goodbye. Hello. Goodbye. Welcome.
If you see us in Riverside, come up and see if you can identify which is which from the speech impediment.
In which case, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That was terrible. I did such a low-key clap, you're not even going to hear that. Because I did a click.
Super.
I did a click, and it went wrong.
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed. You work it out.
It was not Pegwell Bay, it was Botany Bay up at Broadstairs. And it is a chalk cliff, according to this photograph. And I don't know why. It seems to contradict everything I so knowledgeably said about the chalk downlands. I don't know why there's a chalk cliff up there. But you'll have to cut. You've got 2 courses of action open to you,
yes.
Richard. You can either cut that bit, or I can record some more. I'll do some research on chalk downland and come back and you can edit it in. What the hell are they doing there? Do they? It's
Welcome to the Chalk Downland podcast.
inconceivable. God, I feel sick.